Hey, hey. Happy New
Hey,
Year.
Happy New Year. Oh, wow. It still doesn't feel
Yeah,
real. But at the
here
same
we
time, I was
are.
already saying it was 2026 like for a month. So,
Well, I've been feeling the ushering in here for a minute or two. So that's been, you know how like sometimes, or like when you were in school and you went to go write the date down? Like I have not written 2025 once. I think I accidentally put it on one of my videos the other day, but like other than that, like it's 2026 all the way. Like
right.
well, welcome everybody. How are ya? How are you, friends? Um, my name is Esperanza Bense. This is Esperanza Bense Tarot channel on YouTube, and here we have Raffi Dahl from Night's Light YouTube channel. Could you tell us who you are and just a little bit about you while I cheers 2026?
Yeah, of course. I've been a bit silent on Twitter lately, but at Classy Raffi on Twitter, still
Mm,
haven't changed it or anything. I've just been kind of relaxing, but mundane astrologer, that's
yeah.
like really where I find I'm pulling the most of my stuff. I do chart rectifications. So mundane astrology is predictive astrology. Chart rectifications would be essentially guessing people's birth times, so you can get a more accurate rising sign. And then, like very light tarot and everything. And I'm a ninth houser, so I love geopolitics and finance and all that stuff as well.
Yeah. And can people hit you up for a personal reading?
Yeah, just at Classy Raffi on Twitter, just hit me up. Rates are still low and everything. So if you want to have another set of eyes, look at something, or,
Yeah.
I of
Yeah.
course do natal readings and stuff. I love natal readings too, birth chart readings, that is.
Yeah. And you just have such a unique insight with your ability to, well, with your ability to Saturn, and that lends to your ability to Aquarius. Like you can you can get on the wave, you can get on the vibe like real quick, real easy. Um, and you have like really good Saturnian boundaries. So yeah, like you're good at describing the quality of time with people, places, and things, in my experience, in my personal experience.
Yeah,
And
thank you
so,
so much.
did you have a happy New Year?
Yeah, I mean, it was one. I kind of feel like it's been like this for the last really all of these New Year's that Saturn's been in Pisces, I should say, is like really just staying back home and relaxing and everything and not going out. I even went to the gym last night. So it was like kind of just a normal day, but it was very nice to relax. Actually, I'm a gamer, so I played some video games with my friends
Good.
leading up to the New Year, and then just popped into my mom's room and celebrated with her.
Awesome. Well, I noticed on somebody's stream, I forget whose it was, but Wise Wizard Merlin was impressed with your gaming. Would you tell us a little more
Yeah,
about that actually? Because I don't know if we've ever like necessarily covered that here. For those who haven't been on the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Raffi and I gather every new and full moon, and like we were saying before we went live here tonight, like the moon is who we're interviewing right now. Like the moon is our guest, and we're like kind of just, I don't know, we're interviewing the moon almost, like just the energies of the vibes and the quality of time. Um Wise Wizard Merlin is a great astrologer. He has a channel here on YouTube, and he does something kind of similar really with Dr. Narco Longo, right? On Old World Florida channel. It's the two of them shooting the breeze about astrology. Not necessarily new and full moons, but just astrological insights, I'd say. But
yeah,
anyway,
their casting couch.
yeah. And so on your YouTube channel, there's a lot about the gaming.
Yeah, I think that he had looked at the channel before I took down. I didn't really take them down. I just unlisted all of my gaming videos because I was getting ready to start leading into astrology. I know I'll add them back at some point. I mean, there's got to be like 200, maybe like between 100 and 200. But I just love playing video games on the hardest difficulty. And I may have mentioned this to you before in one of our previous streams, but the whole reason I moved out to Las Vegas is through people that I knew from playing World of Warcraft when I was so young. And that
Yeah.
was really where I started. And before that, I was playing like Nintendo 64. I think I was like 8, 9 years old when I got my first gaming system. So I've been playing since I was a kid. But through that and the teamwork I had to do, we'd have raids once or twice a week on World of Warcraft where we would all get together, beat a boss and everything. And they just got very, very hard. I ended up moving through different guilds, groups of people where we would all band together on those raid nights. And with that, it started getting more and more difficult. And I ended up being out of, I think it was 3 million players that played World of Warcraft at its peak. I was US top 80 ranked guild. It was like 83 or something like that was my placing there. So that's where I really got into hardcore, difficult gaming. That's very intense, and so that's like a lot of what I've posted on there, and I'm sure what he saw
So
was just doing a lot of hardest difficulty stuff.
you unlisted all those videos?
Yeah, I didn't want to create like a lot of confusion around it as I begin to upload astrology stuff this year, and I was waiting for 2026, so now we're here.
You can
But
make
I
a
will.
separate video for the astro. I think you should leave it up, man. I think it's kind of nifty that people see like I just think it's a unique aspect that you offer, a unique insight that you offer, a unique experience that you offer again with that. I I don't know. I mean, you do what you want to do, but I think it's kind of nifty for your brand, you know.
Yeah, well, I think you've
I
convinced me because it
understand
was
about the
first what Merlin
confusion though.
said, so like I'll
He
I'll upload them back.
he noticed. Well, yeah, you could at some, or you could just put like a playlist,
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
just a gaming playlist or whatever. But it's just kind of nifty. I made a whole nother channel for my shenanigans because I don't want my shenanigans like getting confused with my business because I'm pretty focused with readings and stuff, but with my shenanigans, I'm all over the fucking place. So I don't want
Oh yeah.
people to click on like me playing music and be like, oh shit, no way. Like I have it on a totally different channel. But for you, it's nothing but a plus.
I know it gets into my ninth house, that Sagittarian energy, where my sun is at, like just getting into all sorts of different fun things like that. So I should do it. I should really just embrace that. And I got pretty good views on a lot of those videos too, like at least a couple thousand.
Yeah, I mean, for people who understand what they're looking at, like I've seen a couple, but I have no idea what's even happening as I'm watching the video. Like I've never played World of Warcraft before. I'm not like against it or anything. Like I think it's neat that, like that's a thing. But like I haven't played video games for a really long time. But Blurple Fairy says, "Oh, is that your friend?
Yeah.
Hi. Oh yeah, are you guys getting ready for your shindig?"
Yeah, yeah. We're getting ready. We're getting some stuff ready today too.
Yay. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Aw, that's so nice. Well, did you have any New Year's things that you want to say or any insights just about like 2026 in general?
Uh, I mean, I would say that New Year's resolutions this year are going to be a lot more powerful. It's this funny juxtaposition of people being over the cliche of New Year's resolutions, but they're just like a lot more powerful this year. And we've got that year of the fire horse thing going on, which we'll get
Agreed.
into more astrology around it and stuff. But I know we don't necessarily do Chinese astrology stuff, so I thought I'd bring up the fire horse energy.
I like to think about it. I like to think about it. I think about it because I like to, when I can, practice feng shui. And feng shui is a measure of space and time at the same time. And actually, there is an astrologer, Donna Stellhorn, on YouTube. And she like has great videos about Chinese astrology and feng shui, and she's a consultant. But basically, according to your own birth chart, according to the direction of your house, according to space and time, like there's certain areas that are more auspicious and certain areas where you want to cure and fortify for your own personal health, for your financial health, for, you know what I mean? It's just like a little bit of magic, you know, and it's feng shui kind of helped me to find fun in cleaning my house, you know,
Oh yeah.
because I'm not a natural.
Yeah, you're not
I got
a Virgo rising like me, all particular about every little.
I'm pretty particular, but I'm also pretty like I just I can go like too far in the particular, you know, and that's just not like fun. Like it's like too much, you know. I need to have like a good balance of like lived in yet still like a good flow of energy, you know what I mean?
That makes
Um,
sense. Makes sense that
because
feng
like
shui is working out well for you too, then with that.
mhm. I mean, but I could tell if like something is like 2 inches different. Like if I walk into a room and something like sometimes not, but a lot of times like yeah, like I could and I'm like, okay, I gotta chill. I gotta chill, right? Like I gotta make this fun. But yeah, the fire horse energy also, it's kind of interesting how that last new moon in Sagittarius, when we did that video, we were dealing and talking about the horse energy and that fire and that archer and that horse. And then like that new moon was conjunct the galactic center. And then here, our full moon is over by the Dog Star Sirius. Um, so let me hold on. Let me take this. How do I take this thing off? Um, I want to hide that. You can see, you can see what I just put there.
Yes.
All right. So this full moon has gotten me thinking about that fixed star Sirius. What do you know about fixed star Sirius? If anything rings a bell to you, like how have you dealt with Sirius in your life? If
It's actually not ringing a bell for me because
okay,
I remember learning about it very early on with astrology, and I got so wrapped up in the planets, I haven't doubled back to it in a while.
well, that'll be a perfect segue to let's see if I can learn how to share my screen here for a minute. Um, let's see. I want to share my screen. Okay.
I love the
All right.
hearts there.
The hearts, yeah. I did the um can you see that? Does it say Astrology King?
Yes, I see it.
Okay, so I'm gonna read from here. Astrology King is Jamie Partridge. Partridge. I'm sorry, I mispronounced his name. Ever heard of him, Raffi?
No, I haven't.
He's an OG. He used to have a website with Marina from Dark Star Astrology, and then now they have their each own astrology practice. But he lives on the east coast of Australia with his wife and their five amazing children. He became interested in astrology at age 29, shortly before the Saturn return. I'm sure that sounds familiar to you.
Yeah.
After buying his first computer in 2008, he played on astrology forums, and his first astrology website was funkyastrology.co.uk, a joint project with Marina Macario. Okay, that's what I was just talking about. She has Dark Star Astrology. She's awesome. Um, okay, there you go. Darkstarastrology.com, if you guys can see that. Um, and then he started Astrology King in 2013, and this is a great, he doesn't use houses or signs. He uses aspects and fixed stars. He uses cardinal
Interesting.
points like the ascendant and the midheaven, but he doesn't believe that house cusps are real. Is that crazy or what? They have no energy. They are constructs of the human imagination and have purely symbolic meaning in much the same way as tarot cards. This article explains my reasoning. So you can look that up if you want more information about how he reads, but his information on fixed stars is divine. Um, and
That
it's
sounds
so
very
interesting to
interesting.
see astrologers like him or astrologers like Michael A. Bryan from Miraculous Astrology. He's a Uranian astrologer. He does aspects primarily. So fixed star Sirius, it's at around 14 or so degrees of Cancer, has an orb of 2 degrees and 50 minutes. It is in the constellation of Canis Major. So that's why it's the Dog Star. It's a first magnitude binary star system on the neck of the greater dog constellation Canis Major. It's the brightest star in the sky, almost twice as bright as Canopus, the brightest star. Alpha Canis Majoris is composed of Sirius A, a white main sequence star, and Sirius B, a white dwarf, with those magnitudes. Canis Major is officially and traditionally named Sirius, or I'm sorry, the fixed star is officially and traditionally named Sirius from the ancient Greek name, the scorching one or brilliant one, appropriate for the brightest of the fixed stars, reapplied in Renaissance times. Some sources suggest the name Sirius might be associated with the Egyptian god Osiris, commonly known as the Dog Star. It's recognized by more than 50 names and catalog destinations. Bayer used the name Asher, derived from the Arabic Ashihira, meaning the leader. The star was mentioned under this name in the Quran. The star's Sanskrit name is meaning the deer hunter. In Sanskrit, Sirius is also known as Ludaka, the hunter. In Chinese astronomy, it belongs to the asterism Qinlang, celestial wolf, and it has four traditional names: Qinlang, Lanqing, Qinlanqing, and Cheiqing, the thief star. Sirius astrology. Fixed star Sirius has a special class indicating the planetary nature of Venus. So benefic. However, Ptolemy states the nature of Jupiter Mars, and Anonymous, good old Anonymous of 379 AD, asserts that it has a Mars-like nature. So active yet benefic, Martian yet benefic. Ptolemy, Cicero, Seneca, Aratus, and other ancient authors said Sirius was reddish, indicating the spectral type K or M, which is interesting because we were talking about a K-shaped economy recently too.
Yeah.
However, Sirius is a blue-white class A star. It is not very likely that Sirius simply changed its color from red to bluish-white within such a short period of time. This remains an unresolved mystery. I would posit it probably has to do with the refraction of sunlight on our atmosphere and the changing times, during industrial revolutions, or, our atmosphere gets like darker or lighter or more green. And then when we look at things, the color changes. So it could have been just because those people existed during those different times. Maybe
Well,
it
and people
looks,
talk about with dark matter, what's called redshift. It's been a while since I read about this, but I should be
yeah.
remembering right. But there is like this type of shifting in the spectrum that you can see around like those colors, essentially. And it's because of the dark matter that's expanding between us and certain stars.
I've heard of that too. To confuse things further, there are also many ancient texts calling the star white. So, um, those are, that's like the classification. The astrology is that of the Dog Star Sirius. Without a doubt, this brightest star in the night sky is one of the most important objects in the heavens. So listen up. Even rivaling the sun and moon in its influence, the Roman farmers sacrificed to Sirius a fawn-colored dog at their three festivals when the sun began to approach Sirius. Sun conjuncts Sirius like mid-July, usually. Um, he'll probably talk about it. Um, In Persia, its name meant creator of prosperity, and the Egyptians considered Sothis a favorable star, especially in its mutantine rising with the sun. The Dog Star is also at the vertices of the two triangles that mark the Egyptian constellation X. X. Crazy, right?
Oh,
Especially since who has his, like, I think it's his ascendant conjunct Sirius? Who is that? Who's the guy? Or is it his son? Maybe it's his son.
oh, geez. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's a few people I
X,
know.
X,
Uh,
Elon
uh,
Musk.
oh, Elon Musk. Okay.
Yeah, he's a Cancer. I think he's a Cancer son. So his son, I think his
Yeah,
son
it would
is
be his
very
son. Yeah.
close in degree to the star Sirius.
I'm thinking of like
And
all the cancers. I'm like,
uh-huh. And so the Egyptians called this you know, the Canis Major constellation X. And I just find that kind of interesting that um this, I mean, as far as mundane astrology is concerned, I mean, maybe we'll hear from him. Maybe we'll hear from him. I don't know, or from his family. Since Cancer, full moon is bringing a culmination or an illumination to like family matters and matters of patriarchy and matters of like patria, right? So, as
yeah,
each of these
perhaps
stars
like
is,
this family stuff will come into the spotlight.
do you think so? And especially like, remember last episode we were talking about Grimes, his baby mama?
Yeah. Well, she just had some stuff going on Twitter. She just interacted with Nick Fuentes actually, which is very interesting. So that was she followed him essentially. Someone called her out on it and she was like, "Okay, I'm going to unfollow him." And he was just like, "Fuck you." Like like he like told her off.
I need to, I just, I, wow, that's incredible.
Well, and even with the X stuff itself, with that, it gave me chills when you had said that because, with all the dark journalist information, he goes through how that symbol X has been used, and then he talks about the X steganography within like SpaceX, within X, the platform, how he renamed it and everything. We can tie this into the new financial system coming in. That's what Elon Musk has said and all that. But like there's this huge X thing that goes across all of these hidden technology type of things and like occulted information that gets carried down through the generations. There's the X steganography is what they call it. It's like a signal that they have like that higher knowledge.
Maybe his homegirl is like his astrologer. Well, she's not his homegirl anymore.
Well, I know were we talking about that? I forgot who I was talking about that with, but she's like
Grimes.
got that high priestess energy, Grimes.
Yeah. Yeah. This constellation of two trines is formed by the star Procyon, Betelgeuse, Nous, and Fact, or Fucked, however you want to pronounce that. As each of these stars is favorable in its own peculiar way, the grouping of a grand trine must be considered extremely propitious. In early astrology, wealth and renown was happy lot to those born under the influence of Sirius. Okay. The star is also said to give faithfulness and devotion and to make its natives guardians and custodians to those they serve or overlords, depending. Um, in later classical times, the star and its constellation earned the evil reputation of so many Venusian stars, just like Venus, turns to Lucifer, etc., right? It's that love-hate dynamic, right? This was due in part, and that's like the Lover's Tarot card and the Devil Tarot card, actually. This is
Yeah.
due in
Wow.
part to the ancient Egyptian practice of predicting the fortunes of the ensuing year from the heliacal rising of the star. So basically, Dog Star Sirius has a lot of Ptolemy says that there's some danger from or fear of darkness and the night, which is represented on the moon card in tarot with the two dogs, and liability to dog bites, though the latter characteristic is probably associated more with particularly serious. Canis Major, um, yeah, is connected by Kabbalists with the Hebrew letter Tadi and the 18th tarot trump the moon. I guess I just said that. Um, and then these are people with ascendant conjunct Sirius. Oh, ascendant conjunct Sirius. Oh, wow, this is incredible. Fixed star Sirius conjunctions, ascendant conjunct Sirius. Next sparks the dog, and from his nature flow the most afflicting powers that rule below. Heat burns his rise, frost chills his setting beams, and vex the world with opposite extremes. He keeps his course, nor from the sun retreats, now bringing frosts, and now increasing heats. Those that from Taurus view this rising star guess thence the following state of peace and war. Hell's plagues, a fruitful or barren year. He makes shrill trumpets sound and frightens peace, then calms and binds up iron war and ease. As he determines, so the causes drown. His aspect is the world's supremest law. This power proceeds from the vast orb he runs. His brightness equals or exceeds the sun's. Out far removed, he through the distant space, arts feeble splendor from his azure face. Yet others he excels, no fairer light, ascends the skies, none sets so clear a bright. Wow. That's amazing. So that pretty much sums it up right there. Oh, Elon Musk, here we go. Um uh that was pretty cool. See, his articles are freaking awesome here. Yeah, so that's ascendant conjunct Sirius and born in the day. Okay. So he is fixed ascendant conjunct Sirius, yeah. So here's some examples. Elon Musk, Michael Jordan, Albert Einstein, Robert Hand, a great
Oh
astrologer.
wow, Robert Hand. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark, Ollie, good old Ollie North, Billy Joel, Judy
Wahlberg has
Garland.
that like dog energy too.
That's crazy. Okay, well, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. It's still sharing, isn't it? Or is it just you and
Well,
me?
once you had pulled up series after you had showed us the initial stuff, it went away. And I wasn't, I
Oh,
wanted to say something, but I thought it was on purpose. And plus, I was like, I don't know if people need to read. So, but people
was
saw the
it?
first stuff that you were showing. It was just when you started reading the stuff that the screen had went away. So you're good.
Okay. Well, I'll just like exit out and then it's whatever. But yeah, I definitely was thinking about fixed star Sirius during this Cancer moon and this Cancer moon building up to it. I mean, I've been in my kind of like Gemini. Gemini gives me 12th house energy because on my chart, Gemini is all up in my 12th, and um the Sirius Dog Star is basically what we were just discussing, or what I just read from the thing. I don't know what you could see if you saw me or you or the thingy, but anyway, that was the gist of it. I'm glad that it showed at least the first part of that website, because then people can look him up. Oh, I'll write it here. Astrology King. But what do you think? Isn't that interesting? Um, how that fixed star kind of plays into the current quality of this moon.
Yeah, yeah, and just even with the glance I took at the chart before this too, and another thing is I'll talk about like the Sabian symbols and all that with associated with it, but it really just I don't want to say flows, it like it falls into all of that energy. Like it all comes together, it culminates, I should say, for sure with
Yeah.
that service. Yeah.
Do you want to tell us more about the degree? Because the moon falls at 13 degrees, which would be what, the 14th degree? Or the 14th
Uh,
Sabian?
14th symbol, yeah.
Yeah. Um, do you want to tell us anything about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've got them right here. If you, I mean, I don't even have to share screen. I can just read them really quick. I'll read just the short version real quick for us to ponder on and riff off of, and I can pull up the longer ones a little later.
Yeah.
But in terms of Cancer 14, what we have for the Sabian symbol is a very old man facing a vast dark space to the northeast. And then the opposition of that within Cancer, or in Capricorn, excuse me, the Capricorn 14, ancient bas relief carved in granite. And that's just like the initial things without like all the, the couple paragraphs of the context after it. But I found that really, really interesting there, just in the way it ties in with really, because the main, like one of the things I'm looking at there, if you don't mind, is that mystic rectangle. And it really ties into what I pulled out of that mystic rectangle that we see on there, the blue square for the people watching, that like blue, or the blue rectangle rather, but
Yeah, so with the ancient bas relief out of granite, that brings me to feel the ancestral vibes of Cancer energy. Like back, a lot of times we think about Cancer energy, the crab home, being close to home, being nearby the waters, nearby our home. But when you start carving into something like granite, and seeing like the faces and the shapes that come out from the wall, that come out from the surface, it makes you start to think about how old and how ancient things actually really are. And that ties into that mystic rectangle as well that we have going on here. Speaking of mystic, we got Neptune in the mix,
oh
in
yeah.
those really, really full Piscean degrees, huh?
Yeah,
It's
it's direct now too, so that's, something.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and then with the sun, um, in between Mars and Venus in that sandwich, they're gonna be traveling together like a little happy trio for quite some time here. Um,
Mhm.
they'll be in this dance together. With that opposite our moon and opposite the Dog Star Sirius, like if you're not a dog person like me, um, it might not like be your vibe. You know what I mean? Like there might be oh, happy 2026, Randy. Happy 2026 to everybody. Thank you for being here. Cheers. I'm gonna do a cheers. Now, now
Yeah,
that you're
cheers.
here, Randy, we can cheers. Cheers. Um, I'd say though with that opposition, depending on what else is going on in your chart, if you're not a dog person, then maybe like don't try to vibe like with dogs that you don't know coming up this weekend and stuff like that, you know. Um with Mars and Venus sandwiching the sun is sort of like we can't see them that clearly because it's like so blinding. Um, when is the exact conjunction of, let me see. Is this still on share screen?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take it. Oh wait, no, it's not, I don't think. Can you see that? Does it look like a bunch of pictures?
I still see the chart.
Okay, good. Okay, on the 6th of January, okay, so right after the full moon, we're going to have the sun conjuncting Venus. And then on the 8th of January, we're going to have Venus conjunct Mars. And then on the 9th of January, sun conjunct Mars. And on the 10th, the sun and Mars are opposite Jupiter in Cancer. Cheapers cripes. Okay, so it's just bam, 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 basically. And I think the energy of Mars and the energy of Venus is going to go through a cleanse and a recharge, but it might be difficult to know where to channel that energy and where people's loyalties might lie. It might be easy to get bit, so to speak, at this time, but I do think that I don't see any like gnarly aspects. Obviously, we're still working with the Jupiter squaring to Chiron, but apart from that, oh, you know, Neptune is in a little bit of a square aspect to Juno, so I guess, we could be going through some triggers in the ways that we idealize, like the motherhood aspect in our chart or the wifey aspect in our chart, the trad wife aspects of what we believe collectively. The trad wife might be um, energizing the dreamers, or the dreamers might be rethinking what wifehood means or what it means for the collective motherhood aspects.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, besides the moon sun opposition with Venus and Mars right there, do you want me to show you what I saw in the chart?
Oh yeah, of course. I'd love to see it.
Okay, so like you know how I like every for the people who haven't been here before, I think you guys have, but you already know that like I like look at the chart and I look and I'm thinking and I'm like, what do I see in this chart? And I was thinking about my dog, okay, because I'm in my feels about my homey energy, right? And my dog was named Homeboy, even. So I've been thinking about him a lot lately with this moon coming up. Um, Here he is, actually. I'll show you. So that's Homeboy right there. He's a good dude. He never minded when I took the vacuum cleaner out. He's like still chilling. I'm like actually running the vacuum and he like doesn't give a fuck. Like he's a cool guy.
Oh my goodness, he's a
Yeah.
superhero, not afraid of
He's
the
just
vacuum.
he's not afraid of much. He was hilarious. Like he lived in the hood with me. Like he took on this dog has been in some fights, man. Like I've been attacked by like dogs. Like this dog has defended my life. Like this dog.
Wow.
And speaking of Dog Star Sirius though, but this dog right there, he changed me. Like he I have Cancer on my ascendant, and the Dog Star Sirius is not very far from my Mercury. And the way that I communicate became so much more refined and loving from this relationship with this freaking dog, dude, with
Wow.
Homeboy. And Homeboy, I put him down almost about a year ago now. And this
Oh,
Cancer,
dang.
this building moon is kind of bringing me like memories of this dog. And I'm not just saying my phone isn't even set to the like memory thing. I don't even do any of that stuff. Like it's just I dream about him or I think and then Homeboy had his own dog. His dog was Little Dude. Now Little Dude we picked up Little
Oh.
Dude Little Dude followed us home one day. And then he just ended up, I couldn't figure out who he belonged to. I put up all the ads. He didn't have a chip. Nobody claimed him after like 4 years. So I ended up with this dog. And so whatever. So he and Homeboy are like making out. But yeah, that was his dog or whatever. But when I looked at this chart that we have right now, and I'm thinking about my own dog and I'm thinking about home and I'm thinking about what does home mean to me. And I'm thinking about, what does it mean to care for another, to care for another? Or what does it mean when some other person or creature or relationship comes into your life to care for you? What does that mean? And I saw this in the chart.
Oh my gosh.
I saw Homeboy in the freaking chart, dude.
You never cease to amaze me with what you come up with what you'll see.
And do you see like how the moon is a piece of cheese?
Yeah.
Okay, so like for me, this full moon is really giving me these vibes with this Dog Star Sirius and this vibe of like good dogs, good sweet dogs get a treat. Good dogs get a treat. If you've been loyal, if you've been steadfast, if you've been hardworking, if you have minded your behavior, if you've been caring to those around you, I think that this full moon in Cancer coming in on the 3rd is like good dogs get treats. Like good dogs get treats. Like, naughty dogs might bite and need a little bit of coaxing. But I feel that really like loyal vibe here. I feel that really like loyal, protective, protect the home front vibe. This full moon in Cancer. So that's pretty much what I have to say about it. What other aspects do you think we should hone in on, Raffi? What do you see, or what do you want me to put up?
Oh, well, one of the things I'm looking at, and I very much agree. I'll have some fun stuff to add with your observations on the chart. But I was really with that mystic rectangle itself. I just thought it was so interesting that it's tied to the nodes of the north node, south node. But I've really gotten more into calling them the nodes of fate in the last like month.
Yeah.
And it just feels very fateful, and what I've been pulling from this chart. It's funny because I was gonna pull mine up, but I'm more than happy to just have yours up because I like the hearts on it, let's be honest.
Okay. I like hearts too. Well, how I feel. I love my hearts.
But yeah, with it, like this is why I was talking about earlier, this idea of it being a great moon for New Year's resolutions and a great year in general, just the way that the year is starting off and everything with that. Because if you're looking at that Capricorn energy, that's very material energy and everything. And then the Cancer energy on the other end there, of course, these are like in opposition, but there's a looking at the nodes right there, you're bringing in the Pisces energy, you're bringing in the Virgo energy. You can put out a plan for what you want. You can take that like from the fantasy space, from the dream space, whatever, and actually materialize that Capricorn into reality and everything. The only thing that's going to stand in your way is, are you going to stay at home and do something? Or are you going to follow that Mars that is now finally past the sun that's leading the pack, and you're going to take action on these things that you want to do. And then there's also the whole belonging part of Cancer as well, and like who is your tribe. I really liked the who is your tribe. I got that from my friend Tori N when it comes to Cancer and all that. But people right now are getting into these realizations of is this person like, is this the person that should be around me or not? You know?
Yeah.
And when I
Yeah.
was looking at the like having the moon right there exact like by the second, you know, it had changed, it had shifted it to where I had it in it was like on the ninth and third house axis for me on my chart. And I just thought that added another interesting aspect too. It's like, are the people around me, and just I'll say really quick, what I do for a full moon is I will actually look at the charts themselves, because I think we have that underlying energy running through the moon cycle itself until we get to the new moon and all that, just
Yeah.
to put that out there with the houses. But with that axis of the ninth and third house, that I had on mine, that I really think that's kind of like, are these people holding me back from like my higher knowledge, my higher truth, all this kind of stuff? And then that's where that opposition is coming into play as well. But then this is like faithful. How am I going to decide around this with those nodes there? Am I going to decide to do this and then like be able to manifest this in my life and all that? Well, this will manifest new friends for people to come in, but it's like such a great placement to set up the whole year for everyone, you know?
This is your chart, Raffi. This is
Oh
where
yeah.
this is what you were talking about, the ninth and third house axis.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, and I meant like my chart for the moon itself.
oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking
Sorry.
about you like personally. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, it's not, no, it's not there for me.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah, because I just had it like by the, well, I can share it really quick here.
yeah, sure.
I'll just
Here,
share it
I'll
really quick
come
so you kind of
in.
see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There we go. Share.
Um, Let me
And then
see.
we'll do
Did it go on there?
perfect then.
Also, while you pull that up, I don't see it on my list yet. I don't see
Uh,
it here.
did
There
I
it
get
is.
it yet?
Hey, there
Okay,
we go.
cool. All right.
Really?
And let me tab back.
Wait, remove other media. Oh, okay. Hold up. I gotta take this out. Remove. Um, Before I forget, y'all, I wanted to say something really quick. Um, that today I I know there's a lot of friends on here that I talked to Robert Phoenix earlier today, and I had a great conversation with him, and he's feeling well and he's feeling chill though. And he said that he's going to do a Sunday night Astro Live, and he hopes to see our names in the chat.
Oh, fun. That's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I
Well,
just
we're all
wanted to
having our
say that.
Robert withdrawals, right?
Yeah, because people are having Robert withdrawals. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I mean, like people have been like asking me and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then like on the group text, and there's like a lot. And like I was just like, okay, like, but yeah, like he's cool, man. He's chilling and like, but he's definitely he's got some I think he has like Saturn and post Saturn in his chart. And definitely the South Node was going over his Virgo with a vengeance. So I think he's just like working on his health and stuff, and chilling. But he said he's cool, he's chilling, and he says thanks for reaching out and he'll see us soon.
Nice. It's good to hear, really. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be a banger for the first one of the, well, and even just playing into the energy here that I was just talking about, like with the whole mystic rectangle we've got in there, like I think he's going to have a banger because it's like got to be something he's been thinking about and like what he wants to present and all that, and it'll just materialize in such an amazing way too, especially with the types of energies he's working with in his own chart, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of what I was talking about there, that ninth and third house axis right there between it. Because if you're looking here, where it's like 1 second, 13 degrees, or minute, or like, but 1 minute, 13 degrees. And then like that was where I ended up getting them falling in the third, ninth
Well,
house axis there.
it's at yeah, 13 degrees 1 minute at the what axis?
In the third and ninth house axis there, just for.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But that was really just where I brought in, like, in terms of like the higher stuff, higher, like, knowledge, truth, that kind of stuff, like being even like true to oneself and all that. And then the third house of being like the friends, your friend groups and all that stuff. And you can like tie in 11th house energy with that too, but just really like the people that you have close to you that you're entertaining more on a consistent basis and investing more energy into with that third house stuff. It's just like, should I be doing that with this person? Should I be doing that? It's like it's happening in my life. I'm seeing it happen in the lives of people around me and all that. And this is really where we have the perfect window to have that manifestation energy, really flowing, to
Yeah.
see like, okay, like, can I picture where I want to go this year and this person being alongside, like
Ooh,
like
that's a
it
good
might be a
point.
person who's in the same cycle over and over, and you're just like, nothing is changing here. Like we had this conversation last year at the same exact time. You know what I mean? Like about what we were going to do this year, like where we've come full circle. Like I can't, is this going to work anymore? That kind of thing. I'm seeing a lot of that and experiencing it.
Wow.
But
Wow. That's fascinating. That's
and of
fascinating.
course, like you brought up, the that Jupiter and Chiron square too is really playing into it. It's almost like how we've been working with that Jupiter Chiron square, and I'll just move my mouse on it right here, right there, up to there, Jupiter, that square. But it's almost like this energy that we're under with it for this full moon here is going to be about really clearing the last of that with the Jupiter and Chiron square. Like all the stuff we've been working with around it, it's like we're going to have that start to clear up because, Jupiter is getting ready. It's trying to move into Leo. So how,
Hmm.
like, if you haven't dealt with this stuff, and this is something I've been bringing up too, is just the year of shadow work. That's like a lot of people have been having, and then the people who have been avoiding the shadow work, it's kind of, and we talked about this in the last stream. It's really starting to like hit full force now, and it's like, whoa, what did I do with the entire year? Like, oh my goodness. And I like what you had said, by the way, earlier about shoot, I had it in my head here and I'm totally forgetting. With the it was something. What were you saying about the Jupiter Chiron square again?
I don't know.
If you can remember.
I forget what I mean, sometimes I'm just, like I don't know. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. No worries, no worries. Well, one thing I do want to say though is I know uh, that Janine was talking about the Uranus algol conjunction right there.
Yes.
And I just wanted to, I told her I would speak on it, and I actually didn't even realize it was conjunct algal or anything. I haven't been paying very close attention
Oh
to the
yeah,
astrology
it's
at
real
all.
close. Yeah. Well, Uranus is gonna back up into Taurus, up till like 27 degrees, 28 minutes or so. And then it's gonna start moving direct, like our time, United States time, right around the 25th, 26th of April. Um, but as it keeps backing up, our goal rests at about 25 degrees of Taurus, I want to say. Here, hold on, I can show us here.
Oh yeah,
I
here,
think I
I'll
have
put my screen down because I know you have.
um I have
Because I
my
did eye it on your
um
chart there that you had up.
yeah. Oh, did I put Algol on that chart?
Hmm.
Oh, okay, so we can see it on that chart. Yeah, you can see it here. It's at 26 degrees and 32 minutes. Okay, I was wrong. It's not at 25, it's at 26. And Uranus is at 2753. Yeah, so Uranus is going to back up another 29 or so up to like from 53, it's going to back up to like 27, 28, right around there. And then it's going to start to go direct again. So it's, yeah, Uranus is really close to Algol. Algol
Yeah,
is
it's like
a,
creeping
oh,
there.
again, we could go to Jamie Patridge to learn more, but Algol is both a wealth star and it's also a star that has to deal with beheadings and particularly like heads of state, stuff like that, but you see it in the deaths of people like in car accidents and stuff like that too. It could come through in that way. um but yeah, Algol is a wealth star, and with this full moon, yeah, there could be a lot of surprises on that front. um
Yeah. With alcohol too, there's also like an alcohol thing that's interesting to tie in. But I
oh
look at that Uranus as
yeah, you're right about, yeah, people
yeah,
losing
that's a
one's
star I
head.
actually know a bit about is Algol. I was like, oh, I can't believe I forgot everything about Sirius, but
Tell
Algol,
us
yeah,
what
like
you, yes, yes, yes. Let me drink while we talk about algal. What?
yeah, I mean I've got planets close to Algol, so I think it's my sun is conjunct Algol actually, because that's 26 degrees, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like because my sun is at 23 degrees if I remember right.
yeah,
Okay, like I said, I haven't touched astrology in a while. I'm getting a little rusty, but we're gonna pick steam back up. But yeah, with algal, in terms of the mundane sense, I mean, I do see a lot of mishaps with just like drinking happening too. But then also like if you want to tie in all the technology stuff with Uranus and with Gemini itself, of it like coming back and like touching base with algal real quick, I see new technologies that are coming out. It doesn't even necessarily need to be this year. I mean, because it's such a slow moving planet, but it is going to pick up that algal energy there and move it with it through Gemini there. So it's like, what new technologies are going to come out that are going to serve as a way for people to disillusion themselves? Because the only reason algal is tied to alcohol itself is it's really about the disillusionment, escaping, the possession that comes along with alcoholism and all of that, and just like allowing things to come through you. And it gets into like the entity attachments we could talk about when it comes to
Sheesh.
alcohol and all that.
Yeah,
um, but I'm seeing like people with that do have like substance issues in general right now, and we've been talking about this just under the Pisces energy, but it was like people either like really cut back and took a step back, or they've just like doubled down, and I've just seen them double down and double down, and it's like getting worse and worse and worse. So there's that side of it, but then the technology side of it, yeah, like a technology that's coming out that is going to literally like that's going to behead the existing technological structures that we have. It's going to be the
yeah,
start of something new there. And then people will be able to use this technology as a way and form of disillusionment, as a form of spiritual possession, and this gets into a lot of the work with, I always bring up with Steiner and the eighth sphere and all that. We could tie in Neuralink with this and, what they want to do with that. But it really just, it goes so deep with even the accounts of the gray aliens, which I really have uh, it's my belief that the gray aliens are, and this gets into like Edgar Casey's work, Steiner's work, but really they are the remnants of the Atlantean race. And oh yeah, and I was gonna say they just like put in a chip and they devolved over time and all that. And I think that there's something to be said about the soul, about implants, the technological system, Mark of the Beast, and all that. And like I think it's really gonna be tied a lot to that placement.
do you see what Janine
Oh,
says?
I just read it right now.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
speaking
I
of the
like that.
head, and speaking of implants, and speaking of technology, and speaking of the mark of the beast and things, do you know last
Strokes,
night,
yeah.
um after dinner and stuff, and we were hanging out, and my friends turned on some Netflix, and we were watching this Ricky Gervais special, and it was damn demonic, man.
Wow.
Dude,
It's
man.
just getting blatant, isn't it?
Bro, it's getting desperate. Is what it's, you know what I mean? It's like that histrionic bitch in the corner of the room. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me, guys. Pay attention to me. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
and it's just like, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people that he's not real, that it's a fucking joke, that it's some fucking joke. Like that it's hilarious to have like a complete like monologue. Hey, Heather. Hey, the party has arrived. Oh, and also before I forget, I'm sorry, I'm just so ADD, but before I forget, Stephen the Jupiterian here in chat makes talismans, speaking of energy protection. So that's something interesting that people might want to look into.
That's so Jupiterian of him too.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a good point to reckon with in these days and times. But yeah, the comedy special was, I mean, there were funny parts and stuff, but I was just like, I just think like I've been noticing a lot of situations in my life, especially recently, where just all of a sudden I'll just be like, shields up, shields up,
Yeah.
shields up, shields up. Like, I'm here, but I'm not fucking with it. It's not coming, it's not into, you know what I mean? I'm not delicious to that, I don't taste good.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, exactly what you were just saying about, and I don't know how to take that back down, but exactly what you were just saying about the health, the head, losing one's head, probably head of states getting more involved with health situations. Have you noticed that there's like absolutely no commercials on television about any drugs? I think RFK is getting involved in some of those little.
I have noticed. I guess I didn't notice until you said something now, but yeah.
Yeah, my friend pointed it out to me the other day. I hadn't noticed either because I don't watch TV apart from the Bears game. But we were watching the Bears game. I was watching the Bears game with my girlfriends. One is like in her like late 60s, early 70s, I think, and then the other girl was like 85. And they like play pickleball and they're like super athletic and like
Oh
one of
yeah.
them homeschools her grandkids and like they're like super but anyway, we were watching TV and she pointed out, she's like, look, there's not going to be a single drug commercial. So I think that like people who are used to being the head of things or people who are used to being in charge of things are going to have some rude awakenings.
Yeah, and I like what Woke Ones just said here. Uranus
I
back
just
in
saw
Taurus,
that.
healthy food attempts, RFK taking on food dyes and fake meat. And that makes me think of something I just saw because my mom will put on the news. Of course, I don't watch the news or anything, but she puts it on. And so I walk by and I'll see little headlines. And they just said that they took off all junk food from SNAP, like junk food and soda, taken off of the food
Yeah.
stamps. And I was just like, that is incredible.
That makes me kind of like see, that makes me so angry.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah, like if I want to, but again, if it's on the taxpayer's dime, if you want, yeah, if you want to eat this stuff, you better buy it yourself, I guess, is what they're saying. You
Yeah,
know what I
because I do
mean?
believe in freedom and all that. So like that's the part of it I don't like
Exactly.
is like taking away someone's autonomy, but it's like you're doing this on the taxpayer's dime, and then you're also most likely on Medicaid or Medicare with that. And so you're literally poisoning yourself. And then we're having to foot the bill for the medical costs of you doing that to your own body.
And continuing down this route, but it's very lucrative. It's lucrative business, for someone, not for us, but it's lucrative for the healthcare or the healthcare industry. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of changes. There's gonna be a lot. Daddy's home, kids. Daddy's home. Daddy Saturn. Daddy Saturn is putting on his emperor clothes I'm gonna whip out the tarot. You should too. I want to address something that Randy just said about I wish science would take a closer look at how psychedelics can help with addictions. Had a cousin in the 1980s that was prescribed a little white pill that helped remove the desire for alcohol. That's crazy. Um, yeah, they obviously took that one off the shelves. I wanted to show you this, the Kratom Chronicles.
Oh yeah.
KratomChronicles.com. I know this girl, Brooke, and her husband, Cody,
Oh, cool.
Brooke
I
and
know people have
Cody.
talked about kratom before around me,
Yeah,
but like I don't
that
know a whole lot about it. Some people love it. Some people say it messes them up.
mm-hmm, that is something that people are doing with the addiction dependency. You can learn more about it.
Oh, that makes sense to use it for that. Okay.
Yeah, now for me personally, like I used to sell kratom at my job when I worked for a shaman shop. I used to work for a shaman shop and do herbs and entheogens and Ayurvedic medicine. We sold wholesale, and it didn't agree with my system. But then again, my system wasn't on like literally, my system wasn't literally trying to come off of heroin. You know what I mean? It works
Yeah.
for people, that are in a desperate like situation, addiction wise. Ooh, I got Knight of Swords right away on the bottom of my deck.
Oh,
Wow.
that's really fitting with this astrology. Holy moly.
Mm-hmm. And especially like the messenger coming in, the harsh yet truthful message, you know? Um, maybe like messages that cutting the head off with that sword, even, you know what I'm saying? Like people feeling um I wanted to ask you about how are you feeling about are you messing with your investments right now? Are you sitting? What have you been feeling right now money wise? And do you have
Well,
any connections to this moon that maybe could be helpful for people?
I mean, I like of course, full moons aren't always great for the markets or anything,
No.
but I do like the underlying energy of this moon leading into, excuse me, the new moon. I do like that
Yeah.
when that comes into Capricorn. I mean, that's good alignment, and then being the with the full moon being next to Jupiter too. It's tough to say to read that. I mean, it almost seems like we could be coming up on a massive correction. Honestly, I just wouldn't at this point lean into. Yeah, looking at the chart, I couldn't lean into it going up. There's so much fear in the markets right now. The money that does really exist in the markets, that's big money. There's none of it new that's entering. It's all getting swapped between all of these firms, these ETFs and such. I could
I
see though during the new moon a great thing with the markets. It just does it correct before then.
okay.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Six of Cups that jumped out while I was shuffling while you were talking. So lean on old friends, lean on your relationships at this time. Maybe don't take too much, maybe do the planning phases as far as our money and as far as our Capricorn things are concerned, because that Capricorn new moon coming up might be the time to actually start to make some moves. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, I actually would think that the new moon would be a great time to make investments because, these markets have been low, but it's not going to be too long until people are going to capitalize on how these markets have been. These job numbers have really become transparent in the last few weeks, as transparent as they can be, because they're continuing to like lie about them and fudge the numbers. But I think it's
Yeah.
become rather obvious now with the policies that have come into place, both commercially and governmentally, that like where the job numbers really are, And so now people can make their investments accordingly. And that's where I just kind of see a wave coming. But I do think there could be another big correction. And then we really would have like a month to start working up. And it's really anyone's game once we hit that February 13th date around there. It's anyone's game what happens in the markets, anyone's guess.
Yeah. Amy Gill is shooting for January 29th. That's when she starts to feel like things are going to start to become obvious. Christine
I got
Mose bought 5 ounces of silver on Saturday. Good for you. Good for
yeah, that's
you.
the silver's been going crazy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Oh
Well, and it's
no.
just something that's the thing with silver too, is like even buying it at it being at highs right now, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be more and more used for all the AI technology that's coming in. It's just
Mm-hmm.
becoming more than just a valuable metal for determining value of things, and like preserving monetary value, but it's actually being used in a real world case, which is I think why
Yeah.
we're even seeing it blow up now.
Yeah. And
I did pull this, by the way, well, the Page of
oh,
Cups while I was
Page
talking about
of
the
Cups and
markets.
Six of, here, hold on a second. We gotta be side by side buddies for this. Page of Cups and Six of Cups, huh? Tell me what you feel about the Page of Cups, Raffi. What do you feel about that card? That's a
Hmm.
beautiful deck. I love the gold. I'm
Oh
so into
yeah,
gold right
thanks.
now. Like gold is like
Oh yeah,
I'm just loving gold right now. Gold
I've always
everything.
had this thing for gold,
I love it.
call it stereotypical of me, I guess, right?
Ugh, love
But
it.
but
Love it.
with the Page, I'm just getting like this like release and fresh start around the emotions. I don't know nearly as much about the cards as you. That's just what I
You
get
don't
off of like the cup energy and it being like there's just kind of this like fresh start energy around what you're emotionally investing in.
Yes. Yes. And that cups energy, do you see the little fish jumping out at that page?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that fish jumping out of that cup sort of is like, woo, like it almost even is like, hey, that's new. Like I didn't even know I felt that way. Well, wonderful, jolly good
That's so
jolly good
funny.
time, chap. Yeah, you know what I mean? And that page is sort of silly too. Look at his silly hat. Look at his like kind of
Yeah.
like buffoon outfit. You know what I mean? He's not afraid to just sort of just, shoot a
Yeah.
shot and
I
be a
woke
little fun.
once said Cancer energy, and it's funny with like the goofy hat. It's very jovial, and we've got Jupiter in Cancer, and right there in Cancer.
Yep, right with
So
our
that's very
moon.
funny, and
Yep.
it's going on in the ninth house too.
Yep. So the Page of Cups is exactly what you were talking about, like new starts emotionally and maybe also thinking about like shooting our shot. You know what I mean? And like you were saying, like who are we going to start new friendships with or maintain friendships with, or what new starts are our current relationships going through? Who makes us feel like home? Who makes us feel like family? Whether they're our birth family or not. You know what I mean? Who makes us feel like family? And then with the Six of
Hmm.
Cups, that sort of rolls into the Six of Cups here because the Six of Cups gives us sort of like a nostalgic feeling towards our own inner child. Either that or else this is
Yeah.
kindness towards children in general. And this is an innocent love. See those white lilies? Those represent like love and innocence and a sort of like I love my neighbor, I love my cousin, I love my friends, I love you know what I mean? In that friendly love kind of way that kind of gives you the nostalgic, like warm, fuzzy feelings from when you were a kid and you just had those buddies that you had that like innocent connection with. And so I think that both of the cards that jumped for us really do speak about this Cancer moon. I mean, the cups energy, the friendship energy,
Oh yeah.
the getting nostalgic, especially because I think that this Cancer full moon is gonna get people in there like, ooh, I remember what the way things were, and I remember when the 80s was so lit, and I remember, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. All the
whereas
throwback.
yeah, but I think that the empowerment comes during this moon. it's great to have friendships from the past, and it's great to be able to bring our own inner child onto the forefront and let them have some space and let them have emotional safety for exchange, because we can't have any emotional exchanges without the Saturnian boundaries of the safety, right? Like if we don't
Oh
feel
yeah.
safe, we can't, we just can't. Well,
And
I
that's
think that,
totally plays and ties well off of that axis right there of Cancer Capricorn, you know. I think that's what
yes,
you were inferring, but I just wanted to say that like that's yeah.
100%. Yeah, like with the Capricorn, without the hard work, without the money, without the finances, without the achievements, we can't have the home. We can't have the comforts. We can't buy the food, that we need to comfort ourselves. Um, oh, Randy has a change coming up.
Yeah, I was just reading that.
Um, a Gemini who is facing early retirement. Oh, you're a Gemini sun? And the need to continue a path forward to a new career. Not sure where my direction will point, but excited about change. Well, we're excited for you, Randy. If
Yeah,
you
really
want like
excited.
more personal insights as to where, you because I mean, yeah, once Uranus goes into the zodiac sign of Gemini on does it go direct on the 20, hold on a second. Well, we can book you a personal reading if you want to know where that energy hits you a little bit more. But with Uranus and Gemini, if you're a Gemini sun, that's going to be hitting you directly. That's going to be hitting you right on your sun, right on your solar plexus, right? Your solar plexus chakra is how you exert into the world. That is what you bring. That's the light that you
Hmm.
bring into your lifetime, right? So,
And I've
yeah,
always
we
had a
could.
lot of success with the sun being what you're focusing on too in this life, and it's like Uranus is going to kind of come through and shift that focus, make it like a little, it's bringing in that change and everything. But I think it'll bring you to this place, tying into what you're saying about the soul. Like it'll bring you to this place where your soul is trying to align to next.
Yeah. Um, I would like to ask you about um what do you see, like you were talking about from here to the Capricorn new moon. I do like to go over what we're working with now energetically, but then I also like to look towards the next episode a little bit too. And
Yeah.
I think that like right now, personally, I think it's a great time for comfort food. I think that this weekend is a great time for maybe like a bath, appreciating the water that is nearby you, appreciating the people that are nearby you. If you're starting to feel like crap, 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 I just can't stand this. Like things are just like there's just I just can't. I just freaking can't. Just hold on. Hold on a little minute longer. Let this moon
Yeah.
pass. Let this
Yeah,
moon
exactly.
pass. You could be feeling, feelings are great data, right? It's great to take them into consideration, but sometimes with full moons things come to such a super saturation point that it can be a little extra. So I'd say like save any big moves and shakes, and especially like we said too with the Mars and Venus in that sun sandwich. I mean, things are so bright that like you might have like those spots in front of your eyes. Like when you look at something so bright and so beautiful and so shimmery, even though it's so romantic and it's such a vibe, like you can look back to your regular life and there could be spots everywhere and you can't quite see straight. So give
Yeah. There's like a
yeah.
huge focus on the self-care, of course that ties into the Cancerian energy and everything. And more specifically, just like taking a rest, taking a break and everything like that, like relaxing for a moment. I mean, you can even see it with Robert and everything like that. But then on top of that,
Yeah.
I love what you said about like hold up for a second, because it's like you're gonna feel like, no, I need to just fix this now because like Mars is now it's passing that sun. I think it's still today behind, but like in that moon, you know, it'll have passed, or it's like on top of the sun right now or something. Like I know it's right up there, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna have passed it, and you're gonna feel this itch, but then it's almost like about waiting until, I mean, really, I love the date that David gave. I was so busy, but I heard a couple things during that stream he did with Jimmy Church of, you know, like the ninth really being where something is going to like come at you to where it will like push you into what you're already seeking right now and
Yeah,
like
the
trying to change.
Sun Mars conjunction is on the 9th.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then on the 10th, they're conjunct and in opposition to Jupiter, direct opposition to Jupiter. So right around the 9th and the 10th is, yeah, and Mars, if Mars is anything, it's strategic, right? So if we want to lean into our Mars energy, we will be careful while we're working out because we do not want to stress or strain anything. If we're working out and we're feeling, because sometimes people work out and they work off their feelings. So if they're feeling extra and they're like they got to burn off steam or whatever, just be careful if you kind of exercise in that manner. If you're the burn off steam type person, because that could get a little extra. You know, there
Yeah.
could be cuts or injuries or stuff like that. Let's be careful of our teeth. Sun in Capricorn,
Yes.
bones, teeth, Sun Mars conjunction. That might really laser focus on the need for certain types of surgeries or bone marrow or things like that. You could you can take action on these types of energies though. You know what I'm saying? Like the other day, you know, yesterday I made my black eyed peas and I boiled the ham hock with the bones. You know, you can
Oh
boil
yeah.
bones. You know what I'm saying? You can make these sort of physical offerings to your magic of life. And that's symbolic,
Beautiful.
but it
Yeah.
can't hurt, right?
Well, and I would even say with working out, especially watch the chest exercises with the cancer
Mm.
energy, you know?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because and
Protect the
if you
tetas.
think about it, that's like where a lot of people, a lot of men especially will work out to really work out their feelings. You know what I mean? And like that's what I would be very worried about someone pulling something there or something because they're going hard. And I even saw that last night at the gym. Is like all of a sudden people were just, and I know we're like, you know, that's like 4 days out last night from the actual uh full moon, but I
No,
just noticed
it's
people were going
building.
hard. They were like slamming weights and everything. Like well, it was just kind of aggressive. I'm like, oh wow, I'm not used to this. Like,
Yeah, like angry workouts. Yeah, like I don't know anything about the gym. I gave that up years ago, but I um I imagine that there would be, something like that going on. That's why I mentioned it. So that's funny that you have the actual feedback that
yeah,
that's like
yeah.
actually a vibe. Yeah, I just would imagine that that could be a thing. And like I said, with the Dog Star Sirius, if you are a dog person like me, then maybe you can also, make a symbolic gesture in your life to remember your pets or to remember the dogs in your life. If you have your doggy with you, you could buy them some extra treats, maybe cheese flavored, since the moon is made of cheese after all. Here,
Yeah.
I'll throw that up again.
That's so funny.
Where is it? Remove this. There it is. There's the doggy in our chart after his little cheesy treat. Okay, so
That's amazing.
good dogs get treats this full moon. And I was gonna write this awesome list of all the things that I didn't want to forget to say during this stream, but I wanted to mention Robert. Oh, could you explain to me a little bit about the Golden Dome? I don't know what that is or if that ties in more to the Capricorn new moon that's coming, but we had sort of briefly mentioned it, I think, on the phone or something. with each other.
Yeah, and I could even tie that in a little bit to, the algal thing with Uranus coming in. And what I
Yeah.
will say with Uranus as well is it's so funny because I remember this phase of my Uranus predictions, which is ending like it might be ending like right after the fourth or something like that, maybe the fifth. And then we go like into that at like the 26th degree, I think, and then we're only there for a little bit and we go back, start moving forward and all that. But I just think it's interesting with that. It was about finding your tribe, and we're like really leaning into this tribal energy right now. Like, and remember, it was that Sabian symbol of like two stonemasons working side by side on something and all that. Like, I just wanted to, I forgot to bring that up earlier, but with
Yeah.
the Golden Dome,
Is that the
that
22nd degree? The two stonemasons side by side? That was the Sabian symbol for our
um
Sagittarius new moon? Or no,
yeah,
Gemini full
it
moon.
was it was the Uranus one I brought up for
Oh,
it was
okay,
for all
okay,
my
okay.
Uranus predictions. It was for 20, it should have been 27 degrees, so Sabian symbol 28.
Okay.
um but with the Golden Dome, yeah, it's essentially it's kind of a lot of things right now, and we'll definitely do a deep dive and everything. Like, I'm sure everyone can tell we were just taking it easy, having a chill stream. We didn't like have like a too much to dig into. We like you said, writing stuff down. Like, usually I have a couple things so I don't
Yeah.
forget, but I just wrote down like two things, for
Yeah,
this. I
it's
was
a
just like,
chill,
we're just gonna have fun.
yeah, it's a chill, comfy moon and not a lot of hard aspects. If people want to maximize this magic, I would really recommend it just because it's so friendly, you know?
Really though,
Um,
really.
yeah. But
Especially if
don't,
you feel like you've done the shadow work this year and like getting that. Remember you were talking about with the cheese and the reward, like, you deserve a reward.
yeah, don't forget that Saturn doles out the blessings, you know? Saturn gives the graduation. You know, Saturn's like the dude standing on the stage handing you your diploma, you know, after all that, you know. So
Yeah, I
if
love
you're in your
Saturn.
feels or if you think like things aren't going so hot, just let the moon pass. So anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted what you were saying though.
Oh
So
no. With the Golden Dome, it's there's a huge thread we can go down with connecting where Trump comes from, essentially, or like what world he comes from, which is his uncle, who was I forget what school it was, if it was MIT. He was a professor at MIT and everything, but he looted, and I think I brought this up before, he looted the Tesla files. And
yeah,
among the patents that he came out with after he looted these files was a type of plasma, vacuum plasma energy, essentially, like through a vacuum tube, being able to, in a safe way, utilize plasma energy. And, we all know that they're looking for all of this new energy for the AI systems that they're bringing in, and they just like they really can't. Like, right now, they're working on subsidizing, but that's not for how fast AI is growing and all that. So they have to really, with the Golden Dome, though, they need that AI infrastructure in order to run the surveillance that's coming in with the Golden Dome. So it's going to be a type of satellite. They've got like pretty much satellite surveillance. You can look at a lot of the stuff that go like how Israel has their Iron Dome. You can look at that as like a watered down version of what the Golden Dome will be, but it will be like facial recognition. It's really gonna be the whole 1984 idea. That's what their plans are for it. They're going to have it about like a month before the next presidential election. That's like the deadline to have it built. But one aspect is having that energy in it. And they need the surveillance system because in order for them to use this patented technology, energy technology, there's a huge risk for proliferation of this technology and of it being used for really destructive purposes. So their justification for the surveillance they're bringing in with the Golden Dome. And there's a new financial system. That was the first part of what we talked about last time. That's a part of it too. That all that financial stuff I talked about, the electronic dollar. But yeah, in order for them to actually have control of that, they need to be able to surveil the entire population on a new super invasive level, what we would consider to be invasive. At least some people will go right along with it. And that's like a big, we really get that first wave this year. This is a process that's going to happen over really the next like 10 to 15 years, this whole Neptune transit, essentially that we have, but other planets are playing into it, like the Uranus Gemini and all that. But this is a process that's going to take some time, but we're really getting the first wave of it this year. And I think it's leaning into something with the housing, something with the economics, or something with both. That's what we're really seeing. And
I
I
think
ran
Uranus
is
and
coming
Gemini,
back.
I think Uranus and Gemini is going to be foiling a lot of those processes.
Yeah, and that's even the people who are very educated on this, Dr. Farrell and Catherine Austin Fitz, even they say they're kind of being a bit ballsy with this and over ambitious with what they're going to be able to bring in, and I totally agree too. And I of course take your stance on it with the Uranus Gemini foiling all of that, because it's just not going to go to plan essentially. And then we're not even taking the aspect of the two worlds from with Uranus Gemini, how ethereal Uranus is going into Gemini, where there's this splitting and it's like two alternate societies running, the people who want to be a part of this system because it just makes them feel safe, and then those of us who stand against it and like we create our own and alternate systems. And this year is just a huge part of all of that. But yeah, that's what they say, is that like it's not going to work. Like they just don't have the infrastructure to get it working if they try to build this as fast as they're trying to build it, without being obvious or taking some type of martial action, which, we have the Neptune, Saturn, and Aries coming up. That screams martial law and martial action to me.
Yeah.
But I
It
just don't think it'll
also
be
it's
successful.
also quite it's also quite inflammatory in terms of like weather, you know, like weather stuff, hot, dry, fire, you know, weather is a weapon too, you know.
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone talk about this. So hopefully I'm not, I mean, it's astrology. Do we ever really steal anything from each other? But I haven't heard anyone talk about this. But I was really thinking droughts coming in places that don't typically have droughts.
I think Robert's talked about it. Robert Phoenix.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably David Palmer too. I listen to David Palmer like he's like my bedtime story. Like not that, but like as I'm falling asleep, his videos will be like on in my like subconscious.
Yeah, I
But
used to fall asleep to him a lot. Yeah.
yeah,
And
that's
just like
like
really to look, because that's how I absorb information, is I'll put it on a loop while I sleep or something like that.
mhm.
It's there, so it comes into my dream space, and then I
Me
can work with it in
too.
like new ways. It's fun.
I was totally sitting around with like other astrologers in my dream last night or this morning.
Dude,
Were you
I'm
there?
telling I
Were you
okay,
there?
maybe I had was it the same one? Because like I had the craziest thing happen where it was like a meeting of all of us, and it was like spiritual type people. And I told you about these dreams where I have them, and I'm like meeting up with people that I know are like star seeds in some way. But fights started, like three groups formed throughout the course of the dream, and then like they were arguing with each other.
I was arguing with someone.
That's
I
crazy.
was arguing with someone.
Wow.
I was arguing with someone. All right. Well, I mean, this
That's
is just a
insane.
this is what we do. We fine tune our free will and intuition together, right? And we help each other out in dream time too, because there's a lot of I mean, because that's an act of war too. There's psychic warfare too. And there's psychic energies that are trying to get people to be more combative and stuff. That's so interesting. Do you remember what the fight was about? Because I remember somewhat of what I was definitely arguing astrology and
Yeah, I don't even remember what it was about, because I remember I was navigating the politics of the three groups that had formed within this group, and what they're essentially what their issues were with the other group, but it wasn't the substance. And then when like the argument really broke out, I just remember like levitating and like trying to tell people to stop. So
and
I was flying in my dreams.
we're at a table. or at least in my dream, we're at like a table.
Oh yeah, yeah,
We're at like some sort of table. It wasn't like a conference table necessarily. It was like an oddly shaped table though.
yeah, yeah,
It wasn't like a square, or it was like an amoeba shaped table. I don't know how to explain it, but there might
yes,
have been like, I don't know, like 8 of us, 10 of us. There wasn't a big
yeah,
group. It wasn't a lot of people. And I was arguing with somebody about, I just I didn't speak up for like a really long time. Like I didn't speak up, and then finally I just was like, I feel like I'm past the point in my life or my career where I need to defend myself over this. I'm like, and yeah, I don't know who I was having that argument with. That's funny
we're
though.
on each other's fractal because it's like you're telling me, because I write down my dreams, but I got up and just started doing stuff today. So I didn't even write it down. And
I
it's like
didn't
as
write it
you're
down
telling me
either.
this, these pieces are coming back. Cause like that's the amount of people it was about, like it wasn't like 20 or something. It was like I'd say like 10 or so,
Yeah.
maybe 12, but like more like 10, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just remember there being like some weirdly shaped table, but I don't think I was over there when that fight broke out. I think I
No,
was dealing
you
with
you
another
might have been
fight or something.
hovering. Like you might have been
Okay.
hovering above. Because
Because yeah.
there was a part where I'm at the table and I'm arguing, but then at a certain point, I just like pieced out and floated up. So you might have been above already or whatever. Maybe you were looking
Yeah, because that's
and
just how I remember
watching.
the dream ending. It's like I was fed up with everyone arguing, and then I like got up and I was like, "Just stop, guys, stop!" I started hovering. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. That's funny. So I guess if I need to remember my dreams, I'll just call you.
right.
I didn't write my
Oh
dream
my
down today,
god.
Raffi. What you got? Where were we, dude? Where did we go?
That's crazy. We didn't like talk about this before stream or anything. We
No.
just brought this up right now, and it's like that's crazy.
Yeah, like I didn't even really think about it, but that did happen last night in my dreams. And I do think that also like with this last push of Saturn and Neptune and Pisces, like I think that just that 12th housey stuff is just going to be real, like the psychic hits and everything are just going to be real full and real dead ass and real dead on. So it's like, yeah, eat your comfort food. Stay
Yeah.
grounded.
Well, and it seems like this respite before the world just changes and we can't sit still, like because we don't feel like it, but also because we literally just can't because we have to make these moves with the way the world is shifting, you know? It just
Yeah.
really feels like a nice, calm, brief respite. And I had the same thing last year too. And it's like I find myself all of these like placements are going back to the signs they were in. And then I'm finding myself going back, to Sedona, like how I was in Sedona for the whole Rise of the Guardians thing. I'm there for a different reason now, but I'm finding myself back there taking a respite before all this Aries energy comes on again, you know?
I'm doing it too. I've been spending so much time by myself, like out at like a different place. I did that trip. I've been just not in my normal life. I've been chilling. I mean, I've been working, oddly. I've been very focused in that regard, but yeah, I like needed to get out of my normal environment. I needed to get out of my Virgo and move towards my Pisces. I got Virgo in the third. I got Pisces on the ninth and 10th house axis. And I needed to travel, and I am resting up because I know that this year is just going to be one after the next, after the next, after the next. Like last year, 2025 was like get up and go, but then back up and
Yeah. Oh my
integrate.
God. It's so
Like,
frustrating, but it was the integration was needed. Yeah.
yeah. And I think that this year, 2026, is just going to be like game on.
Yeah.
No integration,
And it was funny because you're talking
pussies.
about that Virgo energy. Of course, that's my ascendant and everything. And I just remember getting to that point where we started hitting those retrogrades, and I was like, I need to shed this routine and this routine and this thing from my life. And this, like a lot of health routines ended up like, if you really added up, taking me like 2 to 3 hours out of my day. It's just like, and not even like working out, but I was working out too much too. I'm like, oh, I don't need to work out this much, but just shedding stuff like to allow whatever comes through this year, that I actually have the time to get it done and like to take care of it. So it was
Yeah.
like, and there's that whole daily routine part of Virgo. And so with my Saturn and Moon in my sixth house, it's in Aquarius, but in my sixth house, and then being a Virgo ascendant, it's like I have to have these routines. And if I needed to switch things up or like change things, my health suffers if I do it in a massive way. But also like, so that's kind of been my process, is knowing things are going to change this year and shedding things out of my routine and having like lots of free time. So then I
Well,
can absorb
yeah.
all these new responsibilities that come on.
Well, in the South Node first house, right, transiting, that means that the North Node is transiting your seventh, where, you could take a lot of that extra energy that you were using working out or focusing on your body, shed some of that and pull that energy towards your North Node, towards your one-on-one relationships, towards
Yeah.
revenge against your mortal enemies, like towards, towards
Yeah.
towards you know what I
Yeah.
mean, but you could rechannel that energy in the seventh house of your chart, you know. At least that could be the ask with the North Node pull in that direction. 2026 is gonna be gnarly, huh, Christine Mose? Oh my jeepers.
Yeah.
I kind of like it because like I have a lot of water and earth in my chart, and I'm naturally kind of like it can take a lot to get me moving, and I feel like I'm more successful in 2026. I'm more successful in 2026. I know it. I'm going to have a lot more fun. I'm going to be a lot less in my feels and a lot more like in my fire. I'm going to blow on other people's fire too. I'm going to inflame the people around me, cuz I'm air. But last time we had a lot of air and fire going on. I want to say, well, and also the last time Jupiter was in Cancer, Jupiter was in Cancer what 2013, and then again in like back what 2001, 2002. And
Yeah.
those were fun times for me too. Um I just I like fire, and a lot of my really good friends are fire signs because I like that interplay. I just feel like the water and the earth has snuffed out my air. Like there's been so many times that I felt like I couldn't breathe these past like 14 years, or that there was cloudiness in my air with that Neptune, you know?
Yeah. I'm very excited for the Pisces energy to be gone. I love air energy, especially
Mhm.
with me being an earth heavy person. There's something that air energy brings out of me. And it's like, I didn't realize you were talking about the Jupiter and Cancer dates. I just realized I moved out here to Vegas when Jupiter was in Cancer. That's funny. Very
Really?
on brand, right?
Yeah, like I'm just pulling that off the top of my head, so don't quote me on that, but I think so. Pretty sure. Jupiter, well, we can just do the math. What is it? It's a 12-year cycle. So what year is it? It's 2020. Yeah, so 2020,
Mhm.
2013 or so. It would have been Jupiter in Cancer.
Yeah, it would have been like at the end of Jupiter in Cancer, like right as it was ending, I
Wouldn't it
moved
have
out
been
here.
2025, 2015, 2013? Yeah, I think so. Um, Oh yeah, Christy Aphrodite turned all her shadow work to music, and that is such a really cool way of using these last degrees of Neptune and Pisces. That is such a vibe. Yeah,
Yeah.
she has a channel on YouTube, and it is quite entertaining. Um,
I love what PMSO said too, or that what
oh,
Janine said
Janine.
there, where she was talking about people are going to be forced into shadow work
Yeah, whether you like it or
if they
not.
haven't been. Yeah,
Yep. And that's,
and
I
it's
mean, that like really applies for me right now, and I don't like it.
well, I think on some level it's going to apply to all of us because I'm over here talking about like the shadow work that I did this year and stuff and being proud of myself for it, but there's still more to do. And, you know, we all know
Ugh.
it's an ongoing thing. But the funny thing is for Christmas, my sister-in-law, she gave me this book like of like all different guided shadow work things. And it's just like this journal you kind of go through and you fill out to really help you with shadow work. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
great.
wow.
So this was just like the starting entree of shadow work. I'm going to be doing it all year next year. Great. Like,
Well, we're moving it to the 1 year too, actually. Do you have anything to say about the numerology of today, the 111 situation that we find ourselves in? The first
hmm.
day of the first month of a year one. What does 111 mean to you?
Oh, yeah. The year one.
Especially,
That's right.
yeah, in terms of your shadow work coming out of your year nine, because weren't you on a personal year nine?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm right there with the collective there on the same year, which is
Mm-hmm.
like interesting. I'm like, I look at the universe and I'm just like, oh, I get it. Okay. Like, but no, with, I don't know, like just when I see 111 in general, there's always this thing about me being like, where I'm supposed to be, but it doesn't feel like it yet. Or like I'll see it when I'm thinking about like alterations that I need to make in my life right now. Like it's this I don't want to say like bad omen. I consider it a bad omen, or it feels like it sometimes because like of the change thing with me being a Taurus and all that. Like it's like I don't like unexpected change. Like I
Me
almost like I have to
either.
manufacture the change, you know?
Ew, yeah. Ugh. The only surprises I like are like flowers, like bouquets or something like that. Otherwise, like change schmange. I like my
Yeah.
green eggs and ham, man, or whatever.
So I would view the 111 as like a an omen for just like change that may not feel right at the time, but it is what's right and it's what's needed, you know. Because there's that 555 number for change. That's what I see when like things are actually like needing to change in my life. But the 111, I get this different dynamic of with that. And it is like this kind of like sit and smell the flowers. Things are going to change. Like it's going to be a certain way, but, and like, and say goodbye to the way that things were. That kind of energy. That's what's coming through. I'm by no means a numerologist, but
I have a friend, his name is Cap, like as in like no cap, like cap, like capped. You could call him Captain, you could call him Cap. He's a numerologist and he has 111 tattooed right on his throat chakra.
oh, wow.
So, yeah, he considers that to be a pretty special number. I should check in with him and see what he thinks about this 111 or if he did anything special today. His wife is a good friend of mine too. They are such a cool couple, man. Like, but yeah, the 111, I mean, one is seed planting. Nine we're hermiting, nine we're the hermit card. When we get to one, we're like the page of pentacles, and especially with this Capricorn energy. The new and the full moons for me have been quite reversed. It's almost as if like when you're a woman and your cycle like resets, it like throws you off a little bit. Like your cycle is not like direct math. You know what I mean? Like, depending on who you're around or who your family is, where your home is, who you're situated by, like your menstrual cycle will go off of the people around you too. The other moons and the other people around you can affect that cycle. So, like, you're not always on a full moon or a new moon. Well, I've noticed that, like, with the moon cycles themselves, with the new moons falling on these super full degrees, And then the full moon's coming like first. Like I'm getting my month of January, but I'm getting my full moon first. And then finally, after the whole month, I get my new moon
Yeah.
in, and it has sort of like, I don't know if it's a collective thing or if it's just me, man, but my rhythm is a little bit, and it's going to continue through 2026 in this like things are going to become full and then they're going to become new,
Yeah.
so it's like it kind of, I don't
I
know,
like that.
man.
I
Like
really like
that
that.
it's been throwing me off a little. I'm like,
And I
wait a
like that.
minute. Hold on. It's supposed to
I
be.
like that seed planting thing that you said too. That like ties in really well.
It's true though, right?
Because that's like
Well,
kind of it's making me think of what I said about it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that really does apply to like the times I've seen it, you know?
yeah. I bet you if I look here really quick, I can find that Page of Pentacles, right? Oh, I got the Ten of Pentacles. I love that. Well, here's the Knight of Pentacles. Close enough. You know, you sort of are taking care of that earth and bringing it forth. Well, we got our cards for today. We got our Six of Cups. We got our Page of Cups for the Cancer full moon that's coming in on the 3rd. Our focus this full moon has been on warm, fuzzy, homey feelings and who are our homies and who are our homeboys. Once again, um this is my homeboy. But literally like homeboy,
I like his little mark.
patria. Yeah, right, dude. He was such a dog, man. Like I put him down when he was like 18. I had that dog in my life for for the entire Pluto in Capricorn. I had that dog in my
Oh
life.
wow.
And the entire time that Pluto was going through Capricorn, it was like just jamming through my 7th house. And I had some really painful situations in like my relationships. And that dog, man, that dog was there through all of it. And then when it became the Aquarius new moon at the end of January last year, it was time for him to go. And so that was my 8th house of death.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, think about who is your homeboy and who are your homies and what do you consider to be home? Who makes you feel like home? And how can you be sure that you honor your emotions without necessarily letting your impulses drive the ship? Is what I'm kind of saying. Just
Yeah. Oh
just
yeah.
give it a minute. Just give it a minute. If you think you're gonna, if you think you've had it up to here, like just give it a minute, you know. Um,
Yeah, and I
but
just
yeah.
realized I forgot to read the Sabian symbols things. I won't share
Oh
screen or
my
anything. I'll
gosh,
just read
could
it
you
off.
please?
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
went over Cancer 14, a very old person facing facing a vast dark space to the northeast. So we went that one, and then Capricorn 14, an ancient bas relief carved in granite remains a wit. Oh, this one's a little longer. Remains a witness to a long forgotten culture. And then I'll go ahead and read these here. So for Cancer 14, a very old person facing a vast dark space to the northeast, we've got this symbol shows that you may be looking for some help or spiritual guidance, but it may be difficult to find through the usual channels. As we
Mm.
become more enlightened, there is a greater ability to see spiritual truth in unexpected places. There needs to be a trust and courage that your inner wisdom is in touch with the higher truth. The vast dark space to the northeast is often the direction one looks for in spiritual guidance, and looking towards that direction in the sky can bring an influx of creative and spiritual energies. Further, this symbolizes the desertion of native peoples by their governments. Whoa.
Oh.
The degree is Sirius. American Indians and Native peoples that have been left in the dark, the need to have faith in the future, seeing truth, stargazing, navigation, vast arenas. That's like the higher octave of stuff. I've noticed this with reading these, and this is the lower octave. Staring into the void, a lack of purpose or feeling of abandonment, losing faith, being deserted by a government, exploitation and abandonment. Wow, that's insane.
And
Right,
there
but
you go. And there you freaking go.
that's just wild.
And this is why I was in an argument in my dream last night, because someone at the table had said to me something like to the effect of like, "Oh, well, I deal with data. So what you're saying, they were telling me Virgo things when I was speaking off of a Pisces. And that's exactly why I got in an argument in my dream last night too. And funny enough, you know how it mentioned the Northeast at the beginning of what you just read? It talked
Oh yeah,
about
yeah.
the northeast direction. Well, you know what? In feng shui, the northeast is earth element, which also ties into the Capricorn um
The
aspects.
axis, yeah.
hmm
That's
Northeast is
wild.
earth element. Because you were just reading 14 degrees of Capricorn, right?
That was Cancer.
Oh, that was Cancer? What's the Capricorn?
Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna have us talk about that for a second then, but I'll be
Oh,
Capricorn now. You're good. Yeah, you're okay. But it's on the same axis, so it's like, you know what I
it's
mean?
a
That still
dynamic.
hits. Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
dynamic. Mm-hmm.
So with Capricorn 14, we've got, and then just to remind everyone too that, I'm saying Capricorn 14, but this is for the 13th degree to the 14th degree. That's how they number them in Sabian symbols. But an ancient bas relief carved in granite remains, a witness to a long forgotten culture. This symbol shows learning from the past, seeing the beauty and meaning in seeing the beauty and meaning inherent in ancient civilizations, their monuments and cultures. Some things never fade. They stand as reminders of ancient eras, bringing messages to us. Information and revelations may be found in these reminders, the remains, about the stability and longevity of the foundation of your society, or possibly some other society, distant in time or space. You'll find satisfaction in things that are not so much superficial display, but those things that represent the longevity and stability of the foundation or backdrop of your society. The trick is to not get stuck in the past or become unchangeable or unbendable. I will say really quick, that was something I meant to say earlier when we were kind of talking about the Cancer energy, is I was going to say people getting crabby about things not being how they used to be, you know? Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just Hercules. Preach,
And
preach.
then with the low upper octave and lower octave, let me just do those. Anonymous, so a higher octave, anonymous immortality, things carved in stone or concrete, permanent records, laws, inscriptions and writings, museum pieces, relics, history and who writes it, clues from the past. That's the higher octave. Lower octave is old and outworn things, unchanging and unbending minds. It's like your dream. Being intense, stubborn, feeling stuck like no growth is possible, obsession with the past, frigidity. Wow. These are hitting. Holy moly.
They hit, man. I was not like, you know me. It's hard for me to like take on new things, Taurus energy. I have like the stubborn vibes. Like, I don't like change. I like my
Yeah.
way. But these Sabian, I'm like, I'm still a Gemini sun. If you give me information and the information fucking hits, man, I gotta admit, like
Yeah, yeah.
these motherfucking Sabian symbols be like, I mean, they're better than a
For
damn
real.
fortune cookie. Shit,
Yeah, for real though.
my fortune cookies hit. My fortune cookies be like Esperanza. You know what I mean? My fortune cookies are like fucking like very specific. But these
Oh my
Sabian
God.
symbols, man, if they don't fucking hit, dude. It's so odd too, like just like the words that they use and those descriptions and stuff, like those are words that have come out throughout our conversation tonight,
Yeah.
you
And I
know?
didn't even read the longer ones of them because I was like trying to make sure I had everything pulled up in time for us to start on time. So I just pulled up the long versions and the short ones, and I only read the short things that I had read at the beginning of the thing before. So it's not like I had these words like stirring about in my lexicon and then just like threw them into the conversation. Those words just came through with what we were talking about the astrology.
Mm-hmm. And I think that that's the kind of stuff that's going to be a little bit more up for grabs in terms of like what you're talking about, this Golden Dome experiment, the necessity for control and surveillance, and to sort of like bring people's psychic aware to sort of try to artificially imprint upon people's natural psychic awareness. I think that
Yeah.
that's something that we could all be a little bit, and that's why we've been doing what we've been doing for so long. You know, I mean, at least that's why I've been sitting here since 2017. Like, these motherfucking magicians aren't the only ones that got magic. Like, let's go, you know,
Yes.
let's go. Let's get our muscles going. And I mean, and speaking of that, like, I've been spending way too much time in the psychic realm, and I have not been spending enough time like in my body. So I need to take my own advice with all this kind of stuff moving through my sixth house. I need to focus on my health. I need to focus on my body.
Yeah,
And
with the
probably,
human design stuff coming up, there's those crosses coming in, or the cross of the sleeping phoenix. But we still have like a few more gates we're moving in through that. But the big part is just like listening to your body, and like really like being in your body because we're coming into such mental energy,
mm,
that it's like it's really gonna be like, can we have that balance of not being mental all day and like actually being physical too? And having that. But you go on hikes and stuff, so it's like like I'll
yeah,
see
I
the stuff that he does.
do. I do. I mean, you got to get content somewhere, right? Take a few
Oh,
videos that'll draw people into the channel. I gotta,
yeah.
but I do also fall into the trap of the self-inflicted trap of just like I get so obsessive sometimes about like what I'm doing. Like I just zone in and I get like so obsessed if I'm working on something or if I'm studying something or if I'm taking a class or whatever the case may be. Like I zone in so much that like, oh wow, like 5 hours have gone by and I didn't have my lunch. Or
Oh, yeah.
just stupid shit like that that I need to knock it off. I need to knock it off, you know. Um, because I need my muscles and I need I need my brain to function. If I'm
Yeah,
spending
for
all
real.
that time in my headspace, then I need some fat so that the brain cells function. I'm real imbalanced sometimes like that, you know? But
That's okay. We'll hang out soon.
my
No, but we'll
Scorpios,
have an energy exchange, and then I was gonna bring up Scorpio. What were you gonna say about it?
my Scorpio fifth house is fun. That obsession brings that
Yeah, because
creativity
that's
and the
exactly what I was
sexy
thinking. I'm like, oh,
vibes.
it is in her fifth house. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Grr. Get obsessive.
I can only imagine.
Dude, oh my gosh. I've definitely had a long-term, very intense relationship with a Scorpio before.
Oh, I can imagine.
Fucking A, man.
Oh my God. I had a short-term, not intense relationship with a Scorpio.
You're smart.
Maybe it's that sun opposing Pluto I have in Taurus Scorpio.
Yeah, you're just like,
I'm like,
I'm like, oh, let's give it 3 years. And then see what happens. Yeah, yeah. Oh man.
oh
Well,
man.
well, I should let you get to your life or whatever. And thank you for everybody who is sharing. What month is Scorpio? Scorpio is going to be most
Late
of
October.
November and the end week of October. Like pretty much the last week of October and most of November till November 22nd or 23rd or so. Um, so yeah, Dead Wolf, aren't you Taurus? Taurus is opposite of your sun sign. Or I'm sorry, Taurus is opposite of Scorpio. That's your sun sign.
I like what Merlin and Longo were talking about with when really how they did the whole thing with the calendar and all that.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that was
they
a
were
good,
talking
that was
about with
fun.
like October in specific, like that's how you know it starts late October because it's the eighth house, the eighth sign of the zodiac. And then bringing,
Oct.
I was just like, oh yeah, okay. And then like same with like September, and
Yeah.
Libra, like late, that's so
Yep.
cool.
7, 8. That was a good episode. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked that out, on Old World Florida, he's been putting out some really fun astrology content with Wise Wizard Merlin, who actually last episode took his hat and sunglasses off and showed us
Mm,
what
hubba
he's
hubba.
what he's working with.
I really like him with the hat off and everything. Like I liked seeing the way that he emoted and everything like that. It really brought another layer, and it was
No,
really
yeah. Whole another layer.
nice. I know why you're
I'm sorry.
laughing,
I saw you up in that
Missy.
chat. You were like looking good, Merlin.
Yes. I was like, hey, dude.
There were like 3 dudes that said that to him.
Oh yeah.
Like, or that, it's hard to know like what gender people are, from their handle, but you can kind of tell, like whatever. But oh gosh, it was
I
hilarious. I
will
was
say
just,
that you called it though, because we were talking about Merlin like a month or two ago or something like that. You were like, I just know he's fine as fuck under that hat and sunglasses.
I fucking called it. Sometimes people hide because they're too fucking cute.
hmm
They don't want that type of attention. You know what I mean? But you look like what you look like, man. You know? Like if you're a fox, you're a fox. There's not much what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But the wizard thing is cool though too. That's cool though too. Like it's the whole like that's just like getting into an avatar, before hitting the screen. Like you're in an avatar. So that's cool too. But no, but it was neat to
Yeah.
see him as like a person with facial expressions. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I like his whole brand. It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. He's off to a good role, you know what I mean? And I'm sure the Aries is gonna bring him a lot of material this year in 2026.
Yeah.
He'll have no shortage of gravy to dip from. Oh, heavens to Pete. Um, so who else did I talk to today that okay, we said about Robert's. Oh yeah, come to Sunday night Astro Live, y'all. If you guys are gonna be around, come to Sunday night Astro Live on Robert Phoenix, the 11th House Astrology Channel. All of us here pretty much know, but I don't know if Randy hangs out over there, if Sharon hangs out over there ever, but Yeah, we'll be chilling and we can catch up with each other and chat. That's good because yeah, people are fiending, man. He's so loved and he's so like he I mean we're gonna have to think about I don't know, like we're gonna have to think about all of us, like what kind of legacy are we leaving for, you know, and like where are we gonna go and what we gonna do, you know, if we don't have these like Saturnian figures to like
Yeah.
hang on to, you know what I mean? So yeah, we gotta fend for ourselves. We gotta be adults. We kids gotta, I mean, he's like the dad, that all of us sort of hover around. He's
Yeah,
like
he really is.
the sun, he's
Yeah.
that, or Saturn. He's Sun and Saturn, and he's going through a lot of Saturn. That's crazy, but yeah, he's definitely my Saturn for sure, and my sun, and I gotta definitely like appreciate that for sure. I'm
Yeah, it's
thinking I have
hard.
to get.
Oh, I was gonna say it's hard with me to find someone that acts as a Saturn force in my life. And like it's kind of a chicken or the egg thing. Is it because of my chart, or my life? Is my life because of my chart? But like he is someone who definitely acts as a Saturnian role in my life. And I love that.
Yeah, he helps keep the time.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like you can count on it. It's rhythmic. You know what I mean? And people really, really feel it
Yeah.
when that rhythm is disrupted. It's crazy, but it's true because I feel it too. But it's nice to see some familiar names in the Sharon's man is a Scorpio and she's an Aries. Ooh, how
Ooh, I like
wonderful.
that.
Yeah, me too. It's like the fire is underneath the pot and you can set that to simmer, that fire under there, or it could boil over depending, but I know that they have a comfy quilt. Sharon like quilted a quilt for them this fall. She finished and then they can snuggle in that. So those
Oh.
Scorpio and yeah, that's good energy. Um, oh yeah. I'm my own damn daddy. That's right. See, Christy Aphrodite's already on the
Hmm.
yeah, she's got that Aries going on. Um, what he's oh yeah, Dead Wolf put a curse on that beastly Aki energy that they called his Saturn, his dad. I mean, a lot of us do have mother father wounds, and you know what, like ugh, it's just yeah, that's tough. That's tough stuff. We'll get into that. We'll
That's
get into
funny.
that next episode. We'll we'll roll up the psychologist couch and talk. But I'm gonna eat some comfort food right now. I'm gonna have some of the black eyed peas that I made yesterday. They were so good. Huge
Mhm.
man, I made like this big ass pot. I'm telling you, there's like none left. Like people went crazy. They were like, "Oh my gosh, these beans are good." I'm like, "Shit, I'm gonna have to make these more often." They were a
Yeah, I've
big
been
hit.
eating a lot and like not gaining weight from it either. It's been very interesting.
Good. Well,
Usually I have to
you
watch it pretty close, but like
you
I've just
do
been like,
not you do not have to.
well, I don't have to. You know what I
You
mean?
want to.
I gotta keep the six pack.
Oh, goodness sakes alive. Well, I got to keep a six pack too. I just drank my last PBR yesterday. I'm dreadfully don't have a six pack. Oh
Oh my
man.
God.
But yeah, well, I love you and thank you for being here and just like chopping it up with me and making me feel
Yeah.
like home, man. You know, you feel like family and I appreciate it. And thanks to everybody that came to say hi. What's up, Torian and Christine's and the Christies and the
Mm.
Wolves and the Randys and the Sharons and
Sharon,
Heather and um
Janine. I know
Janine,
my
where were, yeah,
friend
and
Liz Wolfenstein from
oh,
Vegas was
Liz
in
was
chat too
here.
for a moment.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see Liz.
Just right
Yay!
at the beginning, she had said, "Hey,
Oh,
she's awesome."
fun.
We had
Oh, I
another
love
sound
it.
healing back on Sunday here.
Thank you, Heather.
My
She has a
practitioner.
sound. Oh, yeah. Good for you. I can't wait to hear about that.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's the real deal.
Awesome. I cannot wait to hear about that. That is such, again, a great use of those last degrees of Neptune in
Yeah.
Pisces. Get you some sound healing. I love it for you. Very cool.
Thanks. And thank you for
Yeah,
having
Happy
me.
New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. I love you and be good, but don't be too good. I'll get suspicious.
Happy New Year, guys.